Emma, and my embarrassing story is about being asked to dance with a boy.
Hello, my name is Dean, and my embarrassing story is about birthday cake.
My name is Greta, and my embarrassing story is about trackers. So, flashback to freshman year. I'm moving to Springfield from a very, very small rural town. Not used to the big city. My freshman roommate and I go to the student book exchange to pick up some books that we had rented. On the way out of the driveway, windows down because it's a nice fall day, something flies into my window in the car and lands by my roommate's feet in the car.
I was about 6 and my sister was turning 8 today. One thing you should know about being the younger sibling is you are always looking up to your older siblings to learn how the world works. So I was looking at my sister and she was blowing out the candles. My older brother and my sister started taking the candles and eating them. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're like flavored.
At my Aunt Katie's wedding, 2010-ish, I was around 11. Big family wedding, fun times. It was at this old car-themed place, fancy old cars. I was just having a good time. And I'd happened to notice that on the groom's side of the family, there were a couple boys who were around my age, a younger brother and an older brother. And I had just marked inside my head, oh, that younger one, he's cute. That's it. It wasn't gonna go anywhere. I just noticed that he was cute.
We decided to pull him back to the parking lot to figure out what was just thrown into my car from the window. My roommate picks it up. It's a small plastic black rectangle. We're trying to figure out what it is. It kind of looks techy, almost like a micro USB, but we aren't really sure what it is. We end up coming to the very logical conclusion that it's a tracker. Someone threw a tracker in my car window. That's the only thing that makes sense to us. So we start kind of freaking out a little bit. Palms are getting sweaty, heart rate is starting to speed up.
Looking back, I can say definitively I have had anxiety my entire life. So yeah, I was not gonna work up the guts to ask this boy to dance or anything like that. It was just, I noticed he was cute. Flash forward, it's been several hours. I'm taking a break at my family's table, sitting down. My family's also all sitting down. We're just chilling, I'm hanging out, catching my breath. And the older brother approaches me. He comes up to me and he says something to the effect of, "Hi, my younger brother, he thinks you're cute and he wants to know if you'd like to dance with him."
So I go ahead, I take a candle, and I take a bite out of it. It is waxy and it crumbles a lot with like no sound, so it's not crunchy. It's really chewy, and the wick got stuck in between my teeth, and it was gross, but I didn't want to cause a fuss, or else my parents wouldn't let me have any of the cake.
Immediate, full body response of being dropped into ice water, clenched, sweaty palms, my heartbeats pounding in my chest and my ears.
My roommate takes a picture of it and then we throw it in a nearby dumpster because we don't want anyone tracking us. That's a terrifying thought. So we get back into the car. I call my mom, starting to freak out a bit. My palms are getting sweaty. My roommate is starting to get a little hysterical, which is causing me to start to get hysterical. I'm starting to cry pretty hard, actually. My roommate is starting to cry. My mom finally picks up. She's trying to get me to be coherent because I'm trying to talk through sobs and coughs. My heart rate is up. Not a good moment for me talking to my mom first week in Springfield. And she's like, "What is going on?" I describe the situation. Someone has threw a tracker in my car window. What do we do? My mom is trying to figure it out. And at the same time, my roommate sends the picture of the tracker to her dad.
So I go ahead and I finish off the candle. I eat the rest of it.
I take in that he asked me that, and then I, at the exact same moment, notice my family noticing this conversation. And I can see like elbow nudges, I see them all looking, I hear snickering. It's all just zooming in on this horrible moment for me. And so I stutter out something to the effect of, no, sorry, no, I can't, no. And I bolt. I take off, I get out of there, and I run to the bathroom.
I realize now that they were only licking the frosting off the candle, but I totally thought they were eating the candle.
The bathroom, black and white checkered tiled, neon colors, music's blasting, they got speakers in there, and the sink is like a lime green Corvette. Beautiful scenery for me to lay on the ground and have a crying meltdown about what just happened to me. I know it was a panic attack now, but at the time it was just like, dramatics, my heart is broken. I will never date or have happiness in my life.
And I'm very invested in this conversation with my mom. She's, again, trying to figure out what I'm talking about, and then my roommate shakes me and is like, Greta, calm down. My dad figured out what it is. It's not a tracker, it's a jewel pod.
Now I look back, I don't feel embarrassed about that. He was just a kid too. He was probably really embarrassed that he had to ask his older brother to go ask a girl to dance, and then I said no. I feel bad for him, honestly.
A jewel pod, not a tracker, completely harmless, an empty jewel pod. To give some context, again, from a very small rural town, and I was a goody two-shoes at this point in my life, had never seen a jewel. If you're thinking about a jewel pod, don't think about a jewel pod. Strip everything you know about a jewel pod away in your brain. It looks kind of like a USB. It kind of looks like a piece of tech. What else would it be? So that's how we came to the conclusion that it was a tracker.
Whenever I look back on the story, it's just so funny.
A week later, though, my mom decides to be a prankster. She creates a pic collage of 3 images of trackers in one jewel pod and posts it to my Facebook wall with the caption, "One of these things isn't like the other, winky face emoji." Obviously, no one else knows what she's talking about except me and my roommate, but still very embarrassing nonetheless.
I think I learned that you shouldn't always look at others for guidance. Sometimes you should go down your own path.
Moral of the story, I always go to the worst case scenario. I've always done that, and I continue to do that. I'm kind of a hypochondriac when it comes to my health, and this was just another example of I always go to the worst case scenario. It was a piece of plastic, but in my head I was convinced that someone evil was tracking my roommate and I, and we were gonna be kidnapped and cut up in some meat locker.
So it was kind of a healing moment looking back and knowing that it was not this huge thing. He was just a kid, I was just a kid. Yeah, but the dramatics are very funny. It's very funny to think about that Corvette bathroom that I melted down in when I was 11. And that's about it.